Greetings, Andy here again, and this is a really impromptu video which I just decided to do just now. I've been trying to clear a bit of space. I've been going through all my old DVDs and Blu-rays of films and concerts and stuff like that, and I've decided to keep most of the music ones, so concerts and various other music related videos, and I've got to put them away now, and I thought I'll do a quick video and show you before I do. So here's a quick whiz through. I'm going to do these as quick as I can because I've just counted them. There's 38 here, and there's probably another one or two knocking around. So the first lot, they come in different shapes and sizes. I've got a whole batch here of ones which are on more sort of CD size packaging, but these are all either DVDs or Blu-rays, often with a CD live album with it. So let's start. This is one of my favourites of all, and it is Mogwai and Special Moves, which was recorded in New York in 2009, released in 2010. There's only 8 tracks on the live on the video, and 11 I think on there, but it's their peak period. So, and there's an absolute classic of Mogwai Fear Satan on here. Public service broadcasting. So this one is is when they brought out Race for Space. I think it was 2015. So essentially it was at Brixton, the Brixton Academy, and it's the race, mostly Race for Space and some of the earlier bits. Now, I've never been a great fan of Springsteen, but I was sort of like tickled by the idea of this one when it came out as a Blu-ray. Yeah, this is a Blu-ray. Not that long ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I think, and it is his legendary 1979 No Nukes concert. I didn't know it was legendary, but I've enjoyed watching this. I think I get more out of seeing some artists than actually listen to their records. Now, Steve Hackett, of course, was the guitarist in Genesis back in the day when they were good, and I've got 3 of his, which he sort of seemed to produce one a year for probably a few years, but I've got 3. This one is live at Hammersmith, and it's Selling England by the Pound. So basically on these videos he usually does a whole Genesis album from back in the day, and then some of his own stuff. So this one is Selling England by the Pound and Spectral Mornings, his finest album. Then you've got Genesis Revisited Live. So there's lots of sort of general Genesis things. And as I mentioned, these are a Blu-ray plus CD. And then Foxtrot at 50, this was in Brighton, at Hackett Highlights. And then Stephen Wilson, this is a classic one, Stephen Wilson in concert at the Royal Albert Hall, Home Invasion. So, fabulous one, lots and lots and lots of tracks on this. It's a really long one. Led Zeppelin, Celebration Day. So this was their concert they did with Jason Bonham back in, when was it, about 10 years ago, was it? More than that, 2007, nearly 20 years ago, at the O2 in London. And Black Sabbath, and this is the end. So this is a recording of what was intended to be their final concert in Birmingham, and it took place on the 4th of February 2017. And it's brilliant, of course. Very different style. Big train, a flare on the lens. Some modern prog, and Bowie, Glastonbury 2000. So this is his legendary, and it apparently was legendary, concert at obviously headlining at Glastonbury back in 2000, only fairly recently released as a DVD or Blu-ray, as these were. Moving rapidly on, this is another one of my favourites. I've actually got 2 of these because I lost it. And I couldn't do without it. This is a must-have. So I ended up buying it again. And needless to say, having gone through all this stuff, I found the original. So this is fabulous. This is 2011. So it's really sort of almost marks not the end of their post-rock period before they sort of progressed on, but it's sort of around that time. So it's really is proper post-rock, and some fabulous ones on here. It's another one where, and there are interspersed with sort of documentary elements to the actual concert itself, and there's also a double CD of as a live album, effectively. Another one of my absolute favourites, and this is Portishead, Roseland, New York. So this is just magnificent. This is one of my top 5 DVDs that I've got here. Absolutely fabulous. The brilliant Wilko Johnson, sorry, his actual proper name is John Wilkinson, but Wilko Johnson, brilliant guitarist, was of course, and I saw him with Norman Watt Roy, who was originally one of the Blockheads, and of course then he was on here as well, which is Dr. Feelgood All Through the City. So this is really, this is a sort of come together. It's got CDs of a lot of their albums, plus a documentary about them, plus live recordings. So brilliant. Porcupine Tree, Closure Continuation. So this was recorded in 22 in Amsterdam. I actually saw them in London on the very last gig of this tour. So Stephen Wilson and Porcupine Tree back together again. Then very early Doves, Where We're Calling From. So this was 2002. So this was at the Eden Sessions in Cornwall in July 2002. So this is really just their first. Second album, first 2 albums has got elements on. Not very many tracks on it, but it's also got the sort of videos which went with the promotional videos, effectively, which went with some of the single releases they had at the time. Fairly recent one, Blur. So this was their get-together back in 2017, recorded at Wembley, and it's got a documentary on it as well. And a much earlier Blur. So this was in 2009. It's the Hyde Park, where they played at Hyde Park then. And it's also got the documentary No Distance Left to Run. Another fabulous one, really quite different. So this is the White Stripes, Under the Blackpool Lights. And it's recorded at, what's it called? The Empress Ballroom in Blackpool. It's recorded in 2004. So, and it is superb White Stripes. A couple of Montreux festivals, so in Switzerland, and in 2003, Yes played. So Yes got back together. I actually saw them when they got back together in 2003, and here they are playing at Montreux. Somewhat earlier, nearly 20 years earlier, Talk Talk played at in 1986 at Montreux. Some more modern prog, Marillion, Marbles in the Park. So this was when they released, what year is it? I can't see, 2015. So this would have been relating to their album Marbles when they did it, and I'm not sure what park it was they were playing. It was in the Netherlands, so I still don't know what park. And we have some Pink Floyd and Pink Floyd related stuff. So Roger Waters doing The Wall, his opus max major, or whatever the word is for that, and much more recently the reissue this year of not really reissue because it was never released before, of Pink Floyd at Pompeii, which was originally in it was 1972, wasn't it? So it was the concert took place at the end of 1971, and the film, originally a movie film, cinema film, was released in 1972. I actually saw it at the time, and this is the Blu-ray version of the recent reissue, and fabulous it is too. Pulse. So this was when they released, obviously without Roger Waters, when they released Division Bell in, when was that, 95, middle of the 90s anyway, and they went on tour, and this was the recording of that. And now some Gilmour stuff. So this was Gilmour doing live at Pompeii back in, when was this? 2017. So he went back as a solo artist to Pompeii and recorded this one. And his most recent one, so this has only come out in the last couple of months, last month I think, and it's Gilmour live at the Circus Maximus in Rome, of course, so he obviously likes that. It's actually got 2 Blu-rays on here. One is live at Circus Maximus, and then which is a mix of his most recent album, Looking Strange, plus obviously classic stuff like Comfortably Numb and Money, and, you know, classic Pink Floyd stuff. The same tracks are done twice on here. So on one Blu-ray it is live at Circus Maximus, and the other is called Looking Strange Concerts, which were recorded, I'm not sure where exactly, but I think they were recorded at 3 or 4 different places. I've sort of watched the first one because it only came about a week or so ago, and I've not watched the second one yet. And finally, just like a box set, 5-disc special, 2 CDs, 2 DVDs, and a bonus CD, and it's David Gilmour live at Gdansk in Poland, and this came out in, can't see, when was it? I don't know. And we're now, if you're bored already, hang on, we're nearly there. Coldplay, when they were good, live in 2003. It's seen the edge of things here. So I think this was after their first 2 albums, Parachutes and I've forgotten what it's called. Stupid. No, can't remember. It's gone. But I mean, those were their best 2 albums. So I really enjoyed this. This is quite an unusual one. No packaging to speak of. This is actually Massive Attack, but it's not a live concert. It's basically how many are there? And they're 12, I think. No, 11. 11. It's called 11 Promotional. 11 Proms DVD. So basically, this is the promotional videos of some of their classic songs, you know, from Blue Lines through, you know, Mezzanine with Teardrop, and a fabulous one. One of my favourite ones is Angels, which I think is an absolutely beautiful track. Another classic get-together, Cream, when they got back together, it played the Royal Albert Hall in, whenever it was, 2000. I can't see. My eyes aren't good enough to read the small print, but it's a cracker. So this is live in Japan. No, not that one. This is the Chemical Brothers, and it's another sort of Blu-ray and CD, and you know, Chemical Brothers hits basically. And a farewell concert. This. I've only actually watched this once, and it was years ago. I've got to pull it out again. I've got to watch it before I put it away. I mean, and this is the Eagles' farewell tour, and this was recorded in Melbourne in Australia, and it's the greatest hits. There's actually 30 tracks on this, so and it finishes with Desperado. It's got them all on there. So starts with the Long Run, a New Kid in the Town, and it goes right through. And as I say, finishes with Desperado, and a couple of REMs. So this is an early one. So this is a mix of promotional videos and live recording, and not exactly a concert, but it's the best of REM in view, 1988 to 2003, and then there's actually a REM live. So this was Perfect Square, which was done somewhere at some time. I don't know which. No, can't see. Oh, hang on. Nope, can't see. Last 2, very quickly. So this is, not many people will know this one, though. Some viewers I know do. Richard, for one, is amplifier, and it's MCR 18, which is Manchester 18, so an area of Manchester, and it was recorded at the Manchester Academy. Academy, I think it means Academy 3, in 2018. And last of all, I did have quite a few sort of best of later ones, and I've passed. I'm going to put, most of them are going to go to the charity shop with a load of the films, movies that I'm not probably going to watch again. But I kept this one back because this is their early 2006, and it's got such a fabulous lineup on this, and it's a peak period, I think. So you've got Arctic Monkeys, Katie Tunstall, Coldplay, Arcade Fire, Love with Arthur Lee, Editors, Camille, Scissor Sisters, Sigur Rós, The Killers, Billy Preston, Devendra Benhart, Snow Patrol with Martha Wainwright, Baby Shambles, K.D. Lang, The Flaming Lips, Niles Barkley, Ray LaMontagne, Pearl Jam, Toots and the Maytals, David Gilmour, James Morrison, Robbie Williams, Betty Levette, R.E.M., Green Day, Solomon Burke, Cat Power, Franz Ferdinand. That's a cracker. So there's that. I just couldn't let myself let any of these go. So I probably should, because I'm probably not going to watch them all again. But there you go. They've got to go back in the rack now. So thanks for watching. I hope that wasn't too dull whizzing through. Cheers.